Yeah. Welcome to Set Talks, where we separate fact from fiction. Mess it up a myth every time. This that Set Talk, yeah, we set it straight. Cut through the noise, elevate the debate. No pseudo talk, no foggy claims. Just evidence-based when we build these frames. Set Talks, yeah, clarity first. If it ain't got method, it probably won't work. From ancient knowledge to modern science, we draw that line, that clear defiant. They say the ancients had science. Hold up. Pause. Knowledge ain't the same as methodological laws. Observation, yeah, but control tests rare. No predictive models, you gotta be fair. We respect the past, but we keep it exact. Precision matters when you deal with facts. Astronomy grew, astrology split. One stayed empirical, one lean myth. The shift came through naturalistic method. Just and revised, that's how we embed it. Not culture bound, not tied to a place. It's a universal tool for the human race. This guy said talks, yeah, he said it straight. Cut through the noise, elevate the debate. No pseudo talk, no foggy claims. Just evidence based when we build these frames. Set talks, yeah, clarity first. If it ain't got method, it probably won't work. From ancient knowledge to modern science, we draw that line, that clear defiance. They blur definitions, start moving the goalposts. Turn fried to a claim that don't hold close. Science ain't on, this a process refined. Independent of culture, space and time. You can't redefine it to fit identity. That's how you lose all epistemic integrity. We test every claim, we don't just believe. If it can't be verified, we don't receive. From early observers to labs today, it's rigor and doubt that paved the way. Not name dropping scholars to win a debate, but data and method that validate. So what's your ideology? That's cool to ask, but truth ain't decided by the loudest class. We question it all, no sacred ground. If it don't hold up, we break it down. This that set talk, yeah, we live in direct. No fear in the facts, just intellectual respect. No more, no mirror, no fantasy, just truth, logic, and consistency.
What it do, family? Welcome to Set Talk, where we break down ideas, challenge assumption, and follow the evidence wherever it leads. Welcome again. And I want to say a shout out to everyone in the chat. Our inspiration of the day, quote of the day, comes from our good friend, Mr. Einstein. And he says, the most incomprehensible thing about the is that it is comprehensible. A reminder that the universe doesn't just exist, it can be understood, and that understanding didn't come easy. It was built over time. Fun fact for the day. You see the octopus there has 3 hearts, and 2 of them stop beating when they swim, which is why they prefer crawling over swimming. Nature is often stranger and more efficient than we expect. Got one more caveat for y'all today. Stay with me. Here's the next little piece of Set Talks for today. I think it's something that we shout out to Juju, and I'm making this part of my presentations. I am going to feature the Daily Black Scientist. And today's feature, why isn't it up there? There you go. Black scientists in the spotlight beyond the usual names. Today's feature is Dr. Jessica O. Matthews, founder of Uncharted Power, developed technology that converts kinetic energy like movement into reusable electricity. Her work focuses on decentralized sustainable energy solutions, especially for underserved communities. Matthews represents a new generation of scientists and innovators, expanding not just our knowledge, but access to it. And with that brings us to our Set Talks for today. And of course, before I go in, I usually do my little monologue. And our monologue for today is Einstein said it took time, and that development took time. Today I'm adding the chronology because a lot of the conversation is like a biblical reference again. We have this expectation that things just suddenly popped up, right? That they didn't develop over time. That is a false assumption and it creates a false narrative. So, like when Sosa was explaining that Newton wasn't there yet. When you're in the establishment phase, you see that things develop over time. So he was fundamental, instrumental in the scientific revolution. As a natural philosopher, he established certain paradigms, certain parameters that became instrumental. But calling a builder of an institution that was established and finalized after his death, you can retroactively apply that title in good faith. However, if you're going to be academically correct, he was a natural philosopher. There's a lot of talk in the community, and again, it is surrounding science. And as long as y'all are entertaining and engaging in science, it is a positive thing. We're gonna continue to say that, right? Science remained undefeated. I may be wrong. God Killer may be wrong sometimes. And when we're wrong and we're called out, quote unquote, the community grows. Everybody learns, and that's our objective remains intact and pure. We're not up here about egos. You can't win anything. There is nothing to win. Academic integrity is the only thing we promote. Honesty in discourse, integrity in the conversations. And unfortunately, we see a fundamental lack of it. A consistent straw manning of our positions, moving the goalposts, cherry picking. It went as far as Reggie, again, having stated clearly no science, no knowledge. Reggie equates science to knowledge, effectively nullifying himself from the conversation and all those that have been using his semantic traps and his prefix fallacy. Nice try, no cigar. We are about precision, correct, and exact information. Remember our motto scientific literacy is the vaccines against the charlatan, the hoodwinkers, the scams. So today's presentation is going to be about the chronology. There's a method to my madness, as you may have seen. Uh, my presentations were created and orchestrated on one. We did that yesterday. Today, we are going to talk about the birth of modern science. I said pause.
Scholarship ain't just remembering names. Smoking mirrors, performance, all the shit debate turned into my intellectual honesty. You say build, but what are you building really? If it's not grounded, it's just sounding silly.
Oh boy, having technical difficulties. Work with me, work with me.
Check the credentials.
This is working slow.
You lack the literacy for this level. Listen.
Oh, come on.
Niggas doing their best, trying to bless me. Try harder, keep failing the test, got no pedigree. Pushing killers.
Which song is playing? My PC is working. My laptop is working slow. I'm sorry about that. Oh boy, that's fun. All right. Ah. The birth of modern science from survival to the scientific method, a chronological evolution of human understanding. Science did not begin as science. It emerged gradually from earlier ways of understanding the world, ways shaped by survival, culture, philosophy, and eventually systematic inquiry. As Albert Einstein once noted, the whole of science is nothing more than a refinement of everyday thinking. This presentation traces that refinement not as a single accumulation of knowledge, but as a transformation in how knowledge is justified. Before we begin, an important clarification, and I think that it's necessary because although I'm giving a chronological account, there is no linearity. I know that it's counterintuitive. There is no linearity. The stages represented here are not strictly linear. Different modes of thought, mythological, philosophical, and empirical, coexisted and overlap across cultures and time periods. Even today, look at the conscious community. Shout out to Hercules. They have a completely different way of interpreting reality, metaphysical mostly. We have seen the barbershop boys engaging in what we call natural philosophy, using their philosophical reasoning, their logic based reasoning to deductively engage in this conversation. That is natural philosophy. So we're seeing elements and aspects of these systems now and today. So they didn't disappear. However, we're watching the development of what we call modern science, our modern way of investigating the world. Okay? These categories are best understood as dominant tendencies, not rigid chronological replacement. Even today, multiple ways of explaining the world continue to coexist. So our first stage, early man, 400,000 BCE. Now we know these dates have been pushed back, right? But we're talking about early Homo sapiens sapiens from about 200,000 BCE to about 10,000 BCE, and that C is cerca, means approximate. Mind you, we're doing a chronological exercise here because I know that people are going to go and screenshot this 200,000. So, what was those humans doing for the 150,000 years before that? These dates has been pushed back. We're just looking at things in its general chronology. Early humans developed knowledge through trial and error, pattern recognition, basic cause and effect reasoning. All human beings are endowed with rationality. Rationality is a trait we develop. Cause and effect reasoning, pattern recognition, trial and error. These are all aspects of a human being, and we engage in them still today. This was practical knowledge, not explanatory knowledge. The goal was not to understand why the world works, but to navigate it successfully. That's your initial job. Animism, an early myth. From circa 10,000 BCE to about 3000 BCE, as societies became more complex, humans began to explain the world through agency based framework. Agency, intent, purpose driven. Human beings, conscious and sentient beings, have agency. So you understand where this is going. Natural phenomena were understood as intentional, alive, governed by unseen forces or spirits. Here, in this epoch, 10,000 BC to about 3000 BCE, Explanation shifted from what caused this to who caused it, the mythicizing of nature. Then, mythological civilizations. That's why the Egyptians and the Sumerians are considered using mythological philosophy as their framework, right? Why the philosophy behind it? It is because we're talking about a way of thinking about reality and how we engage. So between circa 3000 BCE and to about 600 BCE, in early civilizations such as Egypt and Mesopotamia, myth becomes standardized. Cosmology becomes structured. Natural events are embedded within ordered narrative. These systems often included astronomical observation. This is what is happening in the heavens, and because this is happening, this is going to take place on earth. Omen, as above, so below, as we like to say in this community. Mathematical regularity. However, explanations remain tied to cosmic order and narrative meaning rather than independent empirical testing from 3000 BCE till about 600 BCE. Cosmic order and narrative meaning. Early natural philosophy, 600 BCE through about 300 BCE, you get the Thales and the Aristotle generation, where the mythicizing of nature was no longer applicable, right? Explanations begin to move from myth towards reason. Thales proposed natural substances as underlying reality, right? The arc of water, right? Of water as the arc of reality. We went through this exercise, so everybody should be familiar with what I'm talking about there. Thales developed Aristotle. He developed systems of logic, causation, and clarification. This marks the beginning of natural philosophy. See, we've been sequential. Now we're adding the dates. Now we can see within which time frame we're operating. So for about 300 years, natural philosophy was establishing the rules of engagement. This, my fellow members of this world, these are the parameters with which we will engage with reality. This marks the beginning of natural philosophy, the attempt to explain nature through rational principles. You know what I mean? We the big dogs in the community. We have the luxury and the financial resources available to us to engage in leisurely experimentation and observations of reality. We come together in these grand halls and we do an exercise of penis measuring and philosophizing and rationalizing. And those with the most coherent rational logic, perhaps, for example, Aristotle was able to demonstrate that heavy objects fall fast. There is no systematic experimentation, no controlled testing, no formal mechanism for empirical corrections. Reasoning is sophisticated, but still largely speculative. First, I create the speculation, and then I engage in what we now know as confirmation bias to establish what I believe or what I assume to be correct. Or I observe something and I give an explanation that is rational and therefore it is correct. That developed, that was a system, authoritative, dictated by individuals and their philosophical system. There were no testing, no experimenting, no controlled tests. The tests were done not in an attempt to falsify, but to establish the particular point of view or worldview. Pre-modern natural philosophy. Now, 300 BCE to 1500 CE. Over the next 2 millennia, knowledge advanced across multiple traditions. Pre-modern natural philosophy. Greek, Islamic, medieval Europeans, Important developments include mathematics, astronomy, optics, medicine. Chef's boy here. Figures such like Ibn al-Haytham introduced early experimental practices, including controlled observations, hypothesis testing, methodological skepticism. As if we are not aware, you'll want to get into the weeds of the conversation without actually articulating these positions correctly. All right? We're in pre modern natural philosophy. Pre modern. They ain't there yet. You see the word science nowhere there. However, we recognize these individuals, always have, creating this straw man and trying to make this epoch science is wilder. Trying to make this era science is wild. There are caveats and extra nuances that you can go into to understand why this is wild. And of course, that's why Set Talk is here. And make sure you tune into Chris MVP Harris's channel tonight because he's got an excellent presentation on what is philosophical naturalism. See, I set the framework, he dives in. Pseudo killers are a unit, a team, conglomerate. Every aspect of this subject will be dealt with because we are Voltron. We the A side. Let's continue. However, Jeff, key limitations remain. Inquiry is often conducted within established philosophical and metaphysical frameworks, not science. I know. Alhamdulillah. Established philosophical and metaphysical frameworks. Metaphysical, David Hume hears that word and he says, no. Unsupported, unsubstantiated, arbitrary assertions are not included in the discourse, which influences how results are interpreted. The results don't speak for themselves. There is a philosophical framework in which they are interpreted. In other words, observations exist, experimentations exist, but they are not yet part of a fully systemized self-correcting methodology. It simply wasn't. No one is saying they want aspects of it, elements that you see later, that here we're seeing a shift. Put things in their proper perspective, get your emotions out the way, because these are grown folk conversations. We have no place for emotional children. Go, Cambridge, and write a letter to Cambridge because it says science right here. The same nonsense that Reggie did when I jumped on the platform, Sarnetta, which was the start of your destruction. And you did that immature, irrational behavior, indicative of a moron. You continue with the same rhetoric. You're a moron. To the point you have you have eliminated any form of knowledge from the ancient people. Man, Reggie, get out of here. But I'm glad you created an environment for content. The epistemic rupture. Say it with me. The epistemic rupture. New word in the lexicon. Y'all go find this word, dissect it, make your presentations, because this is how you learn, right? So I appreciate you doing the work. The new word for the lexicon is the epistemic rupture. Now that we got you in the scientific revolution, you're here, we're getting you to gradually to move away from these silly positions that you hold. The epistemic rupture, the scientific revolution. Circa, you see that circa? Because we are looking in broadest sense, because you see aspects all over. The scientific revolution, 200 years of the revolution. Are we there during the revolution? Are we there? There's a revolution, there's a change in everything, and we're moving towards the scientific method. We're moving towards modern science. Yet, in the heart of the scientific revolution, when people are shooting bullets in the wall, you asking them if they are at the table sitting quietly doing the work that is required once the war, the revolution is over. Like, this is a redundancy in some of the dumb shit that things like Thunder say. And you come up there with that over whooping, wah, 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 sound like an idiot. I don't know what you're trying to do, but you just sound stupid. Insisting, insisting, insisting. No matter how you explain it, when you're whataboutism, damn you whopping. I wouldn't know. That's what people say. I don't know, not know the whopping, so I'm just echoing at this point. Ridiculous. This is a profound transformation occurs. This is where the transformation occurs. We're in the cocoon. This is the cocoon. This is where it's being built. You're asking me, is the Francis Bacon a butterfly? No, he's in the cocoon. That's the cocoon phase. Is Newton a scientist? He's in the cocoon phase. He's the butterfly comes out the process. Newton's already dead. But is he a scientist? Oh my God. Whew. This is not merely a gain in knowledge, this is a shift in epistemic authority. Figures like Francis Bacon, Galileo Galilei, Johannes Kepler, and Isaac Newton. They contributed to the new approach in which observation gains authority over tradition. They are the contributors to a new approach. They are the contributors, Thunder. They are the contributors. Morons, y'all over there, who's standing, who are standing. Retroactively, you can do it. However, in an accurate historical conversation, you have to put these people in their proper historical perspective. They are in that 200 years of scientific revolution. They're in the cocoon. How the hell you asking me if these people are butterflies? Another analogy. We are designing the ship. I am designing the frame. You design the mast. You do the steering, the keel. All aspects of the ship need to be in place. These are the people designing and putting the goddamn ship together. Is he captain? He must be captain of the ship. Well, he got to be a sailor. He's a sailor, right? Come on, man. He wasn't a sailor. Well, you're trying to tell me that these guys designed, put all the parts together for a boat, and none of them were actually sailors. None of them were captain. No captain boat. And captain boat. That was trying to annoying, ignorant, dumb, yes, moronic. To even have that argument, it puts on my last nerve. Imbeciles. Observation gains authority over tradition. Mathematics describes nature rather than preserving assumptions. Remember, when you're operating within a particular philosophical framework, the philosophical framework dictates what is. Your experimentations and all of that need to fit within that form. Your frame of reference is metaphysical. Remember? Now, you can't do that. Observation gains the authority over tradition. Mathematics describes nature rather than preserving assumptions. And this one, I want y'all to remember it because I'm going in on that whole Copernicus thing there. That there, I'm going to go into that. So you can see the nuances. Why Galileo got persecuted and Copernicus didn't? Why? Why? That's a great question. Try and figure that out. Experimentation becomes central. This shift can be summarized as from explaining nature, well, the log floats because the essence of nature itself is water. And since the water flows through all things, the relationship creates a neutral ground in which the log then floats. That sounds rational. You see, I can do this natural philosophy thing all day. I'll be better at it than y'all. Anyway, see, because I'm doing it the backwards way, I'm actually scientifically grounded. So I can make a metaphysical or a natural philosophical claim, put it up in a nice words to explain the phenomena, doesn't mean I'm actually right. So you go from explaining nature by fiat to testing explanations about nature. By fiat means because I said so. So be it. Sometimes I use these words, I don't know. So by fiat means just by my word. Your money is by fiat. Its value is by fiat. Think about it. The key transformation is this. Observations and experimentations are no longer subordinate to philosophical frameworks. Lo and behold, we are shedding the coattail, shedding in the process of moving away from the philosophical framework. Are these people still within the natural philosophy framework? Yes, they are. What are they doing? Moving away from it. They gain the authority to challenge and replace them. Y'all starting to see the picture now? How when you framing and want to focus on these individuals, whether they are or aren't, it's a completely misguided, nonsensical conversation. What are we talking about? Put these people in this time and actually do the exercise. It means they lack the system in which observation could override the framework itself. So again, Chef, Ibn was there, kind of, sort of, but he operated within a system that he couldn't override, bro. He simply couldn't. So he was stuck right there. Because modern science is a system. He was still stuck in natural philosophy. He didn't have the room to step out. They would have chopped his head off. Alhamdulillah. But they would have chopped his head off. And their philosophical framework was not so that they were in a position, had the need, or the want to challenge the authority. They accepted these philosophical frameworks within they were operating. 300 BC, 1500 CE, pre-modern, natural philosophy. Still, from Aristotle to Francis Bacon spans nearly 1800 years. From Bacon to Isaac Newton, just over a century. This rapid transformation reflects not a sudden increase in intelligence. The intelligence meter didn't change, bro. Y'all keep assuming and creating the narrative because y'all engaging in presentism. Y'all are engaging in presentism. You're looking back with modern glasses. So when these framings are putting people in their right perspective, y'all equate that to lack of intelligence. It is not a lack of intelligence. It is a philosophical framework within which they are operating. Again, the Neon problem. You see how everything is holistically coming back? Why the Chinese? with their system of chi, natural philosophy, had far more advanced technology than the West. Science is a failure of natural philosophy in the West. How do we understand that? How could you come to that realization? There was but one way: to come into contact with other philosophical premises, other realities which fall outside the scope of your system. The modern scientific method, from circa 1800 to the present, go back 1600 to the present, methodological naturalism developed, right? The modern scientific method develops 200 years later. So in that initial revolution, you got this framework being created. Methodological naturalism is being created 200 years. 1600 BC, Common Era, to circa 1800 of the Common Era. You get the establishment of that framework, methodological naturalism, to move away from natural philosophy into methodological naturalism. Took 200 years to develop. Think about it. Took 200 years to develop. The modern scientific method is born out of that structure. Go back, watch the presentation. They all say the same thing. I'm just adding dates now. So we have a grounding, complete grounding method to my mind. The scientific method is not a rigid formula, but it's a system. Y'all keep looking at what individuals are doing, what measurement he wrote, there's no system there. There needs a totality of a system to be called science. The scientific method is not a rigid formula, but a system involving observation, hypothesis, testing, revision, and replication. Its defining features is not the steps themselves, but the principle, not the steps. Y'all are going to go and look for steps. We find these steps throughout history. Throughout history, we find these steps in different combinations all over. The framework under which these systems were applied are different. The mental status, the philosophical premise under which they operate are different. Any claim must remain open to revision in light of new evidence. Nothing is solidified. Oh God, I'm sorry. I'll be right back. I got to fix that slide. I don't know. I prepare these things, but somehow they have the tendency to do their own thing when confused. I'll be right back.
Welcome to Set Talks, where we separate fact from fiction. Mess it up a myth every time. This that Set Talk, yeah, we set it straight. Cut through the noise, elevate the debate. No pseudo talk, no foggy claims. Just evidence-based when we build these frames. Set Talks, yeah, clarity first. If it ain't got method, it probably won't work. From ancient knowledge to modern science, we draw that line, that clear defined. They say the ancients had science. Hold up. Pause. Knowledge ain't the same as methodological laws. Observation, yeah, but control tests rare. No predictive models, you gotta be fair. We respect the past, but we keep it exact. Precision matters when you deal with facts. Astronomy grew, astrology split. One stayed empirical, one lean myth. The shift came through naturalistic method. Just stand and revise, that's how we embed it. Not culture bound, not tied to a place. It's a universal tool for the human race. This guy said talks, yeah, he said it straight. Cut through the noise, elevate the debate. No pseudo talk, no foggy claims. Just gathered in space when we build these frames. Set talks, yeah, clarity first. If it ain't got method, it probably won't work. From ancient knowledge to modern science, we draw that line, that clear defiance. They blur definition, start moving the goalposts. Turn fried to a claim that don't hold close. Science ain't known, this a process refined. Independent of culture, space and time. You can't redefine it to fit identity. That's how you lose all epistemic integrity. We test every claim, we don't just believe. If it can't be verified, we don't receive. From early observers to labs today, it's rigor and doubt that paved the way. Not name dropping scholars to win a debate, but data and method that validate. So what's your ideology? That's cool to ask, but truth ain't decided by the loudest class. We question it all, no sacred ground. If it don't hold up, we...
All right, I'm sorry about that. I trust me, I do know why those technical difficulties happen. I literally check them before I go live. So I got to figure out what's going on there. It's a couple of times that it happened when it should. My apologies. Let's continue. All right. Methodological naturalism. It's because I know the stuff so good, I can say it out of my head, but the slide wasn't enough. Methodological naturalism from circa 1600 to present. The framework modern science adopt a defining constraint. Only natural, testable explanations are permitted within scientific inquiry. This is not a claim about ultimate reality, right? Here, we are not making a claim about ultimate. This is not within the you can make it up. This is testing, right? And when you are testing, you have no definitive position. It is what the evidence says. You have a framework within you operate, only natural explanations for natural causes, right? Must be nature a natural explanation. No supernatural agency or no metaphysical assertion. Those are the parameters that constrains you, and that is methodological naturalism, the framework, the constraints under which you are allowed to operate. From circa 1600 to present, that framework exists. That framework ain't going nowhere. So only natural testable explanations are permitted within scientific inquiry. This is not a claim about ultimate reality. That's philosophical naturalism. We're dealing here with methodological naturalism, a tool. They are different in structure and levels. If there's a hierarchy or a graph, they would be in separate columns. This is a methodological rule. Explanations must be testable, measurable, and revisable. This constraint allows science to function as a self-correcting system. Yes, science is, they're going to come back tomorrow and say something else. Yes, that's self-correcting mechanism. And that is what we want. Not vicious circle, no absolutes. We hear the conversation framed in absolutes. You see, circa 1600 to present, no absolutes. So when we're engaging in the conversation as if there must be absolutes, that's a false narrative. Thunder. Institutionalization of science, circa 1660 to the present. With institutions such as the Royal Society, science became collaborative, structured, self-correcting. Key developments. What does that word mean? That is something that was produced, was thought about, was created. So if you have from 1660 and these elements are developed, do you expect them to be there once we decide to create a royal society? In that process, you have development as well. Peer review becomes a part of the process. Replication. Now, a different type of replication is taking place here. Not the replication that is done by the scientist himself in his lab. This type of replication, as we saw yesterday, is done by different people anonymously all over the world, different times. That's replication in this context. Institutionalized replication, not individual replication. Well, he verified his experiments. He let his colleague check it out for him. That's not peer review. That's not that process. Well, he did the experiment 1,000 times. Yeah, that's not replication in the sense of institutional science. His replication was falsified, was examined. He just did it 1,000 times. How do you know it's good? Publication, so that the knowledge is disseminated, the information is disseminated, so that these experiments can again be replicated. All part of the peer review process. Knowledge is no longer the product of the individuals alone. So when you're focusing on Ibamin, what's his name, and particular individuals, guys are engaging in this conversation completely disingenuous, especially if you want to make these individuals scientists. But a collective verification process. The modern scientific method. You have framework, natural philosophy. Now we're operating. You create the institution. Within the institution, what rolls out of it from circa 1800 to present, the modern scientific method. The scientific method is not a rigid formula, but a system involving observations, hypotheses, testing, revision, replication. Its defining feature is not the steps themselves, as I already went through the slide, but the principles. Any claim must remain open to revision in light of new evidence. Like us, we are open to revision in light of new evidence. Presented with a proposition that I may have been wrong last night, I was open to reviewing it. Sosa was like, "Oh no, I don't think that's wrong though," and I'm like, "No, no, no, no." He presented it. He must have done the necessary work, right? So I'm engaging as honest as possible. Let me look at it. Let me honestly look at it. It's not that I'm doubting my work, but I'm. This is part of the process. And, okay, let's verify. No, no, I'm not dismissing it. No, no, I'm accepting that there might be something wrong. Let's look at it. We are always going to engage with a level of sincerity and honesty, despite whatever the assumption is or the intent is. Whatever your intent is, fine. I understand if there's something wrong. This is part of the process. There's no ego involved there. But that's because when you've been through the academic rigor, this is part of the process. Common misconceptions. Ancient civilization practiced science, Reggie. But you, Reggie, said that they didn't have that natural philosophy. And definitely mythological philosophy is not science. They developed advanced observations and reasoning system, but not a fully formalized experimental methodology. Science is just logic. Stupid. Logic existed for millennia without producing modern science. Logic alone does not guarantee empirical structure, empirical truth, sorry. Science has always existed. The systematic method of testing and revision is historically recent. Folks, come on. We've just gone through the definitive chronology. We got the dates now. We got the time frame. Not dates, time frame. Let me be accurate because I'm waiting on the Footloose videos because sure someone clipped me up saying Kevin Bacon right there. Human reasoning has always existed for hundreds of thousands of years, but the method that allows us to reliably test and correct our ideas is a much more recent development. Science is not defined by knowledge, intelligence, or observation alone. It is defined by a method, a structured, collective, and self correcting process of discovering when we are wrong and improving upon it. Science is counterintuitive. So now the epistemic rupture, scientific revolution. Let's look at these dudes again. Remember that? Put it all together. Epistemic rupture, scientific revolution. You expect him, who died 1727, to have been practicing modern science? Look at the dates. Which one of them are you expecting to have practiced science? 1800 to present? Which one of them practiced science? What changes? Knowledge must now be tested, measured, and reproduced. What do we mean by the epistemic rupture? The epistemic rupture is not just accumulation of knowledge, but a transformation of how knowledge is justified. So when I'm talking about the epistemic rupture, you really need to get it. The scientific revolution represents a shift from explanation to verification, from authority to method, from reasoning alone to systematic testing. This is a complete overhaul of the system they were using. The rupture, the manner in which our epistemology is executed, is completely different. That's what the epistemic rupture means. This is another one. Add to the lexicon. Start using this word, playing with it. Add it to the your dialogue. It does not imply the absence of observation or experimentation in earlier periods. You keep accusing us of this nonsense. You never heard us say the ancients had, well, how can you say methy observations? Methy, there were methy observations. Derogatory, disrespectful, ahistorical, anachronistic, presentism, scientism. Y'all, irresponsible retroactive fitting. Y'all, not us, but rather the absence of a unified methodological system in which experimental results could reliably override inherited explanatory framework. So even the Islamic golden age, he was still stuck within a philosophical framework which he could not override. That's a hint for what was going on with Copernicus and Galileo. It's a hint that philosophical authoritative dictate the uniformity and the symmetry of the universe was significant in why he did what he did and he wasn't persecuted. Stay tuned. That presentation is coming. So let's compress the chronology. From Aristotle to Bacon took almost 2,000 years. Bacon is the first who said, this is the framework. He's an architect of methodological naturalism. Different epistemic structure. We are not always out. To get to that took almost 2,000 years of the Aristotelian framework around the world. This is the way they were under that framework, Aristotelian school of thought. This is how they were investigating and engaging with the world under an authoritative basis. Almost 2,000 years. From Bacon to Newton, 100 years. Took 100 years, approximately. That's the rupture. What stagnated for centuries was transformed in generations. Once that authority was gone, we set up these framework. Pop, 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 pop. Oh yeah, that works. Boom, add this. Boom. That transformation happened because the break was made with the old way, the authoritative way. Now nature's doing the speaking. Now all these scholars are popping up with their ideas, what they had for so long, but they could not bring them out under the structure that was. Didn't make no sense. He couldn't go nowhere with it. Remember Darwin? Darwin was like, I don't know. Still in that gray area. I didn't know. I'm not sure. Put this out. Eventually did. And fortunately, because now we know what's going on. That's the presentation. Get up here. And now, of course, I'm going to throw the floodgates open. Let me go in the chat. I need to start getting better at shouting people out in the chat. Let me see what we got here. I'm going to just start somewhere. There you go. Miss Felicia in the building. I'm going to drop the link. In the meantime, does anyone who want to get up here? Well, let's shout out some of the people in the audience. Oh, no, that's not how that's done. Mm-mm. There we go. That's not working for anyone. What you talking about? The placebo effect. In which sense? Yes, sir. Kick door in the building. Kick door in the building. Shine out people in the chat. Let's see here. I'm trying to see some of the comments. Too much. Oh, now video. Some of the video share the show. Stay with us because tonight Gula's going to be here with another presentation addressing and dealing with some of the narrative in the community. Y'all been hearing me saying the word or desensitize our community to these concepts. It is monophyly, and it is what it is. Jesus, your faith made you whole. Placebo effect. Your belief has made you whole. That's different. No, I'm not a Christian, but the placebo is actually a natural phenomenon, right? It doesn't cure. So it doesn't cure. What it does, it can ease your symptoms, right? So when we assess symptoms, right? The placebo effect is taken into account, right? To see if we can add, accurately assess the, uh, the, uh, the function of the medication in terms of so the placebo effect, but it no fix, no solve any problem. It is a temporary mental stressor whereby the cortisol levels in your cells doing the perception of pain or discomfort, but it does not lead to any cures. It is a medication that does it what it does, and in some cases, yes, it is over time the body simply your body simply sorry about that your body simply heals itself, right? These are aspects of reality that we do on. Am I clear now? Yeah, I think you have to show credit, let it debug in these. Give me some shit today. Technical difficulties, but it's good to get all these things at the helm so you learn to deal with your mind and crash out. I'll have to repeat what? Jump up here, man. I'm sorry about that. Maybe the internet, and I'm on a landline, so thank you, thank you, thank you. I'm sorry I'm breaking up. Oh boy. Yeah, I'm breaking up. I'm breaking up. I'm sorry about that. Can y'all hear me a little bit clearer now? I hope the presentation was at least clear. The power of belief. Um, Humans operate fundamentally on belief, Sanchal. There is no action taken without belief, right? If you believe, if you believe, yes, Miss Tiff, I'm on a landline. Yeah, I'm hardwired. I don't come live with the Wi-Fi. Yeah, I'm hardwired. So maybe it's the internet is just choppy. Gary, you're cracking me. So what I'm saying, Sunchal, is human beings operate fundamentally off of belief. There is no action taken unless you yeah, Ethernet. Thanks for the correction, Miss Juge, Miss Tiff. You knew what I meant. Yeah, a landline means a telephone line. I'm hardwired means an ether. And thank you, because you know nowadays they'll chop that up and make a whole party out of it. I'm waiting on the Kevin Bacon video. Foot loose, get loose. Oh, thanks for clearing that up. I appreciate that because yeah, these narratives have a way of living a life on its own. True justified belief, Sunchild. We are in an age now that all action is taken based on true justified belief. You believe the sun is going to come up based on it having done so every day of your life, right? So so that is belief. You believe the brakes in your cars are going to work because they have done so in the past. That's confidence in the system. Belief belief that whatever medication you're taking has an effect, whether it be placebo or not, has a real effect on how you feel. How you feel. But it's a medication, the actual medication that reduces or fixes the problem. Belief doesn't heal. If you were going to get better without medication, that was going to happen eventually and regardless. So there's no evidence of such a thing being an actuality. No, it definitely won't. Although the snake oil salesman in our community would have y'all believe that some red sea moss is the cure, or some soursop is the cure for cancer. No, it's not. You need actual therapy. You need actual treatment to deal with these type of things. Chemotherapy, radiation, in some form or not. But you're not gonna think and wish yourself to a better status of health. That's not happening. That is definitely not happening. Spirit Science. No, have you ever saw the series Spirit Science? That dude is annoying as hell. It's not the medication, that's why it's called a placebo. A placebo is done during double blind and triple blind studies, right? Have a reference point to have a reference point in terms of how well the medication is working, sunshine. The medication ultimately does what it does. The feel good feeling you get, the feel good feeling you get, right, from assuming that you're better, that's the placebo effect. But that doesn't mean that your feelings or your belief cured you. That's a temporary feel good.
Uh,
It's not just the red algae. You have to mix the ginger root. Wait a second, Sunchild. God killer in the building. You have the flow.
Man, that's that spiritual science, man. That African science, man. I don't even know what you're talking about now, man. Y'all serial killers became something else. Y'all taking away the spiritual science and the African science, and you fooling with the European science. I don't know why everybody switched over to the European side of science and the whole planet Earth, but I don't know why. We going back to the African science where you snatch some grass and
Well,
some.
well, no one mentioned African science. I'm talking about
I'm in the
European
middle
science.
of talking.
The
I'm in the middle of
placebo effect.
talking.
The placebo effect is what I.
Sunchild, we ain't doing that. When I call on you, give you the floor, you'll have all the room. I gave the floor to the God killer. You don't get to cut him off. All right? Appreciate it. Go ahead, God.
That's what I'm saying. African science, spiritual science, Irish science is all wrapped up in the placebo science. It's all science. So you got that right, yo. Now what you gonna do with it? Go ahead, sunchild.
You got the floor.
Well, I know the placebo effect is documented scientifically to be effective. Um, and I know that it's the belief and not the medicine that actually maybe cure is a bad word, but we can do a chat GPT run and see how chat GPT feels about it. I think I'm confident that I'll have an argument with chat GPT, but it's not so much the medicine, it's the belief that cures people. And that belief can be
Stop.
considered a
Stop.
spirit, can
Stop.
be
You
considered
use the word cure.
spiritual.
You use the word cure. Now, we know the placebo effect is
Well, like I
used.
said, cure might be a strong word, brother.
No, no,
So I
no.
don't want to
We
stand on
use
that,
the
but the
placebo.
placebo effect is effective
Where is the
in certain
placebo
areas.
effect? Where is the placebo effect being examined, and what is it used for? Let's go there. If you use the word placebo effect, then you understand the phenomena and in the environment which it is predominant.
Okay, let's if you'd like, we can push a little further. Then
No,
give
no,
me a
no, no,
second.
no, 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 no. You keep using the word placebo effect. So if you're using a particular phrase, you have to know in which context this word is applicable. So where is this term applicable?
Well, it's applicable whether it's in mental health, in some areas physical health, but the idea
No, no,
behind
no. Sorry, stop.
placebo effect is
Sorry.
that the belief that the
No,
medicine,
sunchild, we're not
the
doing that.
belief that
Nope, nope, we're not doing that. Where is this phenomena used? Like I said, it is used in double blind studies, triple blind studies to make a neutral assessment, right, to have a ground zero of how this particular medication or pharmaceutical product makes the individual feel. And you contrast that, right, by giving someone no medication, sugar pill. And you're going to see now if the placebo effect is here. We are talking about symptom reduction, feel good, not curing. And it is done in experimental environment because it is a phenomena of the human mind that we understand. So to have a proper assessment of the effectiveness of the medication and how people experience it, that phenomena is taken into account when doing the double, triple blind studies. That's where it is relevant because people have the tendency to assume once they take some medication, start to feel better. So we're doing an assessment of that. However, no one speaks about a cure by belief or a cure by means of the placebo effect. So you're not only straw manning the conversation, you're confusing yourself by not understanding what is actually being said. You can come off the mic, you got the floor. Come off mute, you got the
Is
floor.
that is that what he was talking about? Was that the
Yeah.
show was on the placebo effect?
No. Of
Oh,
course, you know,
okay.
Well,
Okay, I'm coming
well,
out of the
he's
Enchanted
always
if you'd
Forest
like,
then.
he's always
if
non
you'd like me
sequitur
to
with the
Yeah,
respond,
now that
I'll
we out of the
respond,
Enchanted
Cedric.
Forest, let's get back to the discussion, man. We spent a
If you'd
lot of
like, can
time
I
on that.
respond to you, Cedric, or no?
Man, we just come on, man.
What do you say?
Can I respond to you or no?
You have one opportunity, make your statement, but we're not going back and forth on this anymore. And then you will
Okay.
have
Well,
time for my
I asked ChatGPT where in medicine is the placebo effect used. It says the placebo effect is primarily used in clinical trials to test new
Thank
drug
you. Thank you. That's
efficacy.
it. That's it.
I'm
Don't
not.
read
I'm
anymore.
not.
Nope, don't read anymore. Because that's exactly what I said. We're not going down that rabbit hole. So I'm allow you to make a statement, but you're not gonna read your whole chat GPT thing. What is your position
Bro,
stated?
can you
No, we're
can
not
you
doing that.
you're not gonna let
No,
me finish what I was reading at least? You just
no.
cut me off
You
because
hear
you
me?
sound because you
No.
like
Hear
what
me?
you heard.
No. Did you hear me? No. So you
All
reached the
right, bro.
Show
conclusion
I'll
though,
tell you
bro.
already.
what. I'll talk to y'all later. Y'all be cool. All right.
Thank you very much. Bye. Not me. I'm not letting you take me down the unnecessary rabbit hole. You just
Off the
read
show,
it.
yeah, but it's arrogant.
Yeah.
But how about it's just arrogant? The show is not about that. What show can you call up in and just make your own topic? We're not ready for the topic, and they get out of here with that crap. Knock it off. Let's just ride down to the Enchanted Forest and be upside down with like the Mad Hatter. Come
Yeah.
on, man. I'm not
Thank
doing
you.
that, bro.
No.
Let's get back on
No.
the subject, man. I was trying to figure out the subject because I couldn't catch the show, and I was thinking you was doing the show on the placebo effect. I said, well, goodness gracious, how do we get there?
No, of course not. The show today was I added the chronology, right? Because if you looked at my whole presentation, because I was talking about system and framing the philosophical paradigm that the discussion should be held in, I didn't necessarily want to put or add dates. However, now that that whole system has been identified, we know what methodological naturalism is. We go through that whole process. I've now added the dates. Adding the dates deals with some of the comments or the position held by Thunder and the rest of them, where they're looking at these individuals that are in the scientific revolution, the individuals that are constructing this new boat, this new ship, which is going to get us to knowledge, and assume that they are actually the captains of the ship or the captains of the boat, right? And you see chronologically these individuals, they passed at the point that the modern scientific method was established. 1800, what's his name? Newton died about 20, 25 years before the actual modern scientific method was solidified, right? So why try to do the back and forth, whether they are scientists or not? As Sosa indicated, retroactively, you can identify them as a scientist, but it is retroactively, it is honoring, right? Because they fall, all three of them, Galileo, Bacon, all of these individuals, they fall outside of that 1800 forward. That is the modern scientific method. They are instrumental in putting this process together. But you can see clearly via chronology, if you start to add the dates, that this whole idea of the Royal College being established, that means the peer review process was in place. No, the peer review process was developed. You see that the Royal College started in 1660. But if you look at when the scientific method was established, it comes out of the Royal College. But that takes a 200-year process. So even when Newton was part and parcel of the Royal Society, it is in its infancy. So the process is being developed. Why are you assuming he was peer reviewed at that time? Do you expect these things to just pop up? Boom, peer review. These things developed over time. So I added a chronology today to the conversation. And of course, we can clearly see where our interlocutors, I wouldn't even call them that, where the barbershop boys are engaging in historical anachronism, right? It is clear. And especially Reggie is doing presentism 101. We are looking at these societies as holistic units producing information within their own context, knowledge within their own context, and then you reduce them by saying they had messy observation. Isn't that presentism 101? Right there is the exact thing that we are fighting against. The derogatory framing of what the ancients did. Reggie comes out, guns blazing. They had well, you could say messy science, messy observation. What's a messy observation? Huh? What's a messy observation? Can someone explain what a messy observation is? So yeah, that was the show today, and of course, I introduced a prominent black scientist, Jessica O. Matthews. She's doing some groundbreaking work in technology. So part of the show is every day. Shout out to Miss Juju. I am going to feature a black scientist, whether and modern scientists. I'm not doing the Henry Carvers and these people. We are going to bring to the forefront uh, black, female, male scientists in our community to see that we are not operating within a vacuum. We have people developing advanced technology and taking us as a society and as a world forward. And we have real black dedicated people in the field. So part of the show is highlighting these individuals as well. Yes, and I cleared up the EBAM issue and provided some clarity there. He was firmly in a philosophical framework, right? He did what he did. He did what he did, but he was within a philosophical. Yes, Juju. I listened, so I incorporated that into my program, a daily feature. That's my shout out to Juju moment, right? Because it's something you've always been promoting, and I think across our shows, across the platforms that we have, it should be an aspect of the shows we do where we feature one or two prominent Black scientists in our community today. So thank you, thank you. I use everybody's suggestions, give the credit where the credit is due, but that's why we are T.
Mhm. Hey, you know what's deep though? The key
Yes, sir.
component in triggering your black allergy is always thinking you need a black person to do something. Trust me with that, bro. That's the number one thing. So let's just say you have a unqualified person. Is that okay because they black?
No.
Right. Okay. So if you need a black person to learn, right, then there's really an issue with you as an
Most
adult.
def- most definitely.
There has to be something there. But we just not interested in because we just well, I get it. But guess what I've learned about human beings? When you're actually interested in something, you don't give a damn what color it is.
No.
See?
And
And that's almost like an excuse. I'm not saying the brother or the sister, whoever made it. I'm not saying that. I'm saying, but that's a made-in excuse. Because nobody wanted to take the vaccine, but it was actually the lead scientist was a black African American woman.
Yes, sir.
Y'all pick and choose. Am I correct in that, or am I just talking?
No, you're absolutely correct on that. You're absolutely correct on that.
Leave Miss
We went
Corbett
through
out
the
there.
history, how she almost didn't make it, right? Because it wasn't coming together, right? So we talked about that, and that's why
No,
I
no,
think.
no, no. That's I ain't talking about that. I'm talking about the black scientists that actually with the mRNA magazine. I ain't talking
Yeah.
about the one that designed it, the white lady.
Oh,
That's
okay.
the
Yeah,
one
yeah,
with
yeah, yeah,
yeah. I ain't talking
yeah.
about that. Yep. So I'm saying, so what about that though? You had a woman of color that ran for the presidency, and we wasn't all in on that. We
Mm,
could look at the channels; they was all on Trump, the white person.
mm,
So
mm,
I just find it to be very interesting. I think it's
mm,
important to get the knowledge down first.
mm,
Understand that no matter who's teaching. Suppose there's a we purposefully we had a Chinese lady who was an Egyptologist.
mm,
We had, I believe, two Europeans,
mm.
right? So and we had a biological anthropologist who's a black man.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so we diversified the conversation because that is important to learning. You can't be stuck on that needs to be a black person. What you want is quality, is what you really want.
Indeed.
Give me
Uh,
a black doctor. Yeah, but
No,
suppose
no,
he's a
I'm not
crack
calling
doctor.
black dot. You know what? What I do, and I understand your position, and also Ms. Juju's position. What I'm showing, what I'm trying to show, is because of the anti-academic sentiment in the community,
That's
right?
what's going on.
I'm listening
That's not-
to Humble speak. He takes one of my slides that represents academia, and he comes back with the heightened conspiracy theory about gatekeeping and all of this kind of stuff, right? So I'm like, wait a minute. Let me show, right, the amount of black prominent educators, scientists that go through this system, right? And this whole gatekeeping idea is simply anti-academic rhetoric, right? And we need to safeguard against that in our community. So I'm going to illustrate black scientists as or inventors or innovators or technologists or educators, right? To combat the stereotype of
Yeah, I'm not doing.
anti-academia in our
I'm
community.
doing. So
However,
listen.
yeah,
No, go ahead. Go finish your point.
However, when you truly become scientifically literate,
Uh-huh.
race plays no issue. I will not
And
specifically look for black sources or anything like that. That's some nonsense. That's some nonsense.
I would say I think that we have to be mature enough to want to have black scientists and black this and black that. So let's talk about Juju's comment. Juju is mature enough. She has earned the right to present 1,000 black scientists and 1,000 that because she don't give a damn what color they is for real. She can digest the information and understand it. Okay, get that. But
Yeah.
trust me when I tell you, when you take your butt to school, depending on the neighborhood you live in, you may not have a black teacher, and you still get good grades if you pay attention, or you still fail if you don't. You can have all right now. I can take you to Atlanta, full of black teachers, and people is failing, and the reading rate is down. Is it because of the black teachers? Of course not.
Mm.
It's the individual students that's going there and the permitting
Mhm.
households that they come from.
Yep. You're
So
absolutely
I'm
right.
not trying to hear it. I'm not adjusting what I do so y'all can just listen to black people and talk the same. Because we're a group of black people now. See, we are a group of black people, and they still don't listen.
Mm.
So if you
That
feel
part.
better listening to a black person speak, then find a black person to speak. I feel better listening to the real information because I know when you go to the hospital, bro, you pick your doctor, right? I want a good. I've had doctors from Africa. I've had African American doctors. I've had doctors from India. You know what I'm saying? And so don't let the skin color fool you. What you
No.
want is a good doctor that pays attention to your needs and your health. That's what you really want.
Yep.
Trust me with that, though. I'm telling
Yeah,
you now.
you're not going to the school of Dr. Phil Valentine. That's for sure. That's a good
He's a black
example.
person,
That's a good
Dr.
example.
Sabi.
Yeah,
Dr.
yeah,
Sabi. Yeah,
yeah,
he's a
yeah,
black person. He's a charlatan. He died a charlatan.
yep.
He miseducated people. People died from cancer that could have got treated earlier. We have a sister that supports us whose son died
Mm-hmm.
because he waited too long dealing with Dr. Sabi, taking money
Yep,
out of his account. What are we
yep.
talking about here? Once
Facts.
again, you have to be, I trust Juju. How about that? I don't trust y'all. Y'all have not earned the trust. Trust me with that. So that's why you tune in to the
Mm-hmm.
show. Juju brings you all types of black scientists and black. That's what they do. You feel me? Tune
Yeah,
into the show. But you
yeah.
know what? You don't. You really don't. When you get all the black scientists, all the black astronomers, man, we brought. Look at the views where we brought
Yeah,
Mona Monteiro.
yeah,
Where's them
yeah,
views at? She was
yeah,
all black, but she
yeah.
probably wasn't black enough. She probably
Mm.
talked too proper. Samantha Cater, he's black, but you didn't believe him.
Nope.
See? Yeah, I'm not. I'm not. I think it's a trick. I
It,
actually
it,
think it's a trick.
it is a trick. It is a trick. It
I
is
think it's a trick.
excuses. It is all a bunch of excuses. I mean, the anti-academic rhetoric that is coming from humble and the bomb squad is
Bro.
is it's like what
Gotta wean you
what
off the back. Trying
yeah. So that anti-academia rhetoric is dangerous in the community, and and you have to be part of the process, right? To be able to take your community and the world to the next level. In terms of once you become scientifically literate, these things are trivial, right? Whether a scientist, black, white, I don't care, Chinese, it doesn't matter to me. It really doesn't matter to me. But in a space where not enough of us are at the forefront. Every now and then, popping up. Oh, look at that individual. So no, they passed through the gate. What gatekeeping? Look, successful, done the work there. So all these excuses about gatekeeping and anti-scholarship rhetoric, I think, is a danger in the community as well. So
You know
that's
what? I'm just trying to get black kids to get interested in STEM, yo.
yeah,
All right. Dr. Miat is a black person and she promotes STEM.
yep,
I don't see y'all turn her damn door down, but you got a lot of slick stuff to say about the sister. They tore the sister down. She's a black professional, and they tore her down. She's an electrician. Sees this, sees that, all of that, and she's an expert. She teaches at a black college.
yeah,
Think about that.
yep.
Yeah, so slow it down. I don't believe you at this point. Like seriously, you know. And look at us, yo. We can't even have a good coherent conversation on science without other black people. Look, hey, you had the comma wrong. You had the period wrong. Really? Yeah, yo. So nah, I ain't on that. And being intelligent does not mean that you automatically have forgotten about your history.
No, no,
Look at hey, yo. Look, why don't you just count them, yo? So you got what we got about four black experts and maybe about six white. Like, come on, bro. Like, you don't think we reach out to black people, bro? Neil
all the
costs too much. We spent like damn near $3,000-4,000 to see Neil. What y'all talking about, man? Numbers is up there. You feel me? Come on,
yep.
bro. We reach out to black people first. Let's get that straight. So did y'all know I reach out to black people? Okay, we got a quick man. You just add it up, man. We had a couple doctors that was black on here, man. And look at the numbers, yo. Y'all don't even support the black people.
Nope, nope. Because they are
That's
echoing the white
crazy, yo.
man. They echoing the white man, right? The white
I'm gonna
man
prove
science.
y'all.
So well,
I'm
what
gonna
about the
prove
white
y'all.
man science? So why
They
y'all
like
want
that.
the white man science to be applied to y'all so badly?
There you go. I like that. Yo, who is Hess? I like that. Read that. I like that.
The
Read that.
ethnic
I
group,
like that.
the
Watch
ethnic
this.
group of a scientist should matter because I would trust my people over others for, huh?
Mistake. That's the mistake right there. I'm not trying to fall into.
Concerning us than others who will lie
No,
and
no, no,
discourage.
no, no.
Uh-huh.
Not ready. No, see, hey, see what I'm saying? That and I'm glad the person has that opinion. And I'm telling you that's the trap. That's why we all here coming from bad information, yo, because we went for that right there, yo.
So, so, so,
I get it. I actually get it.
Dr. Phil Valentine, you will listen to him over a white
Y'all
scholar.
didn't
Andy, y'all gonna listen to him over Andy? Hey, see, you're accused of not supporting Dr.
Somebody- I tried. I tried with all that
We
hate.
tried. We
I
actually
tried.
tried.
I
I gave
tried.
her out, bro. I
She
gave
wouldn't
her
let it
out.
go.
I gave her out. I said, you know what? I'm in the hard sciences, and yeah, colloquially they say I'm a scientist, but actually I'm not, right? Because I am at the bachelor's level. I'm not engaged in any. Well, in my field, okay, okay. Uh, The God killer, you couldn't hold a God killer back at that point. I knew it was coming. Oh boy, yeah. So,
So we actually tried, and then there's a great recommendation that you got with the astrophysics, and we're actually trying to
hmm the cool
get the
brother.
brother on right.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's a
he
cool
goes
one.
so as far as he has gold teeth and all. I forget the what's the name, Juju?
The young
And
dude.
yeah, he doing. I mean, he did that to so he want to be relatable to the community, bro. You know what I'm saying? And we working on getting him. We definitely was Kemp reached out to him, so let's see how they go. So for me, man, I'm past that stage. And being past that stage doesn't mean that you're thoroughly grounded in your community. I understand the value of having black teachers, right? But more so, I understand the value of having
Good,
qualified black teachers.
qualified teachers.
See, that's
Let me
that's
tell you,
my thing. Right.
I I've I've had primarily European teachers my whole life, right? In the Caribbean, the Catholic organization, they have most of the school programs, right? Now it's more diversified, but you understand, 40 years ago, it was primarily Europeans that were our teachers, right? We're forced to learn in another language, but I had good teachers, right? I'm part of that colonial system, so I never had an issue with having European teachers. To go and study, I went to Europe. What do you expect my professors are going to be? So it is not the race of anybody, right? It is simply good education, uh, and that's not race bound. Like some of the professors that took an interest in me, like making sure that I passed, were Europeans. Like it was not about race or anything. They saw a good student, and yeah, one teacher you got a great relationship with, the other not. That's individual. But the most important thing is qualified and correct information, not feel good information, not the nonsense that you get from a Dr. Inky, for example. Right? That's not the grade. That's not the standard. All information ain't correct, right? That's another thing. Yeah,
Then,
the information, the
a
information.
64
What's the
is beat.
quality of the information?
Pretty good.
What's the quality of the information that you get?
Huh?
That's what's important.
No, y'all turned over. I didn't want them six going straight. Oh, my fault.
I got you. I got you. Whenever you're ready, just come up here. So yeah, so that's these false and wrong conceptions that people create, right? As if you need to be black. No, the information needs to be correct, right? I did. Information needs to be correct, and that's what most important, right? We need to get away from this skin color thing. Again, scientific literacy that puts you out of that box. But we need to recognize and understand that black people, us, we are all into science. We engage in science. We're all up into science all over the world, creating the illusion that it's a white man thing or gatekeepers or that we can't be part of that process is crazy. is completely and utterly crazy. Y'all make sure y'all thumb up the video. Thumb up the video as you come into the building. 56 people in the building. Thank y'all. I appreciate people showing up for the show. If you're late, go back, watch the presentation. I gave and added a chronology. So now the conversation is becoming again a little bit more refined, a little bit more restricted. So a lot of the straw man rabbit holes or or the conversations that people want to engage in the muddy area, right? Whether he's a scientist or not, it's completely non sequitur to the conversation. But when you look at the chronology now, you see how stupid these questions are. Modern science, 1800 forward. Scientific revolution, 1600 to 1800, circa. When did Newton die? 17 something. How can he be a scientist then in a traditional, conventional sense? That wouldn't that be a title that you're retroactively placing on a natural philosopher? Y'all need to
Hey,
think about
Cedric.
it. Go ahead. You got the floor. Oh, fell off. So you probably be right. I had to leave, but I'm back. What did I miss? Not much. We missed that crazy statement. Response to that crazy statement you made. Missed the response to that crazy statement you made. Yeah. We trust correct, accurate information. There's no conspiracy theories here. He's a white man, so he's not going to give a proper diagnosis. No, a doctor sees a human being as a machine to repair. Why would the practice be different from one to the next? We need to move away from this. Why would you think you get a lesser education or a better one from someone that looks like you? How is that? How does that make sense? I don't get.
Yeah. Yeah. So Cedric, I don't the value that you place on a black doctor or a white scientist or a black or green purple one, it is actually subjective. And I never want to take away people value system. So if you value black doctors, no matter what, and black, I get it. And that's why we try to bring some of that content. So I'm just saying my value system is based off of how good that person is as far as the work they're doing, their expertise, right?
Mhm.
And the quality of their character when they do business with me. Right now, as far as when it comes to my ethnicity, it's black African power
All day,
all day,
every day.
every day. Yeah,
All
my
day,
message
every
is
day.
for the African American community, right? Yeah, my message is shaped and formed for the African American community, right? And I
Yeah.
have a direct attack on those who attack the African American community through pseudoisms, right? And yeah,
Hmm. Definitely.
Wisham Common was completely out of line at this point. Humble and them, they out of line.
Yeah.
Meaning they're
Yeah.
Issa, she's out of line. She's completely out of line. Right? The double talk is
Yeah. Been
horrible.
out.
The double talk is
Yeah.
horrible. Right. We can't even have a coherent conversation. So what's the blackness? Y'all don't mean black people. Well, then what are you talking about? Black color skin? Is that what we at? No, I ain't saying that. I'm saying this on that. Man, come on. And we got into a little wild contest the other day. I was like, come on, shorty. I mean, she a good sport though. I mean, she got a little upset,
Yeah.
right? She got a little upset. I get it. I mean, I'll get a little upset too. Because I'm not going, right?
No.
I'm not going for that.
No.
I'm not going.
That's that
But
whole. That's that. Shout out to God Energy. 200 plus slide presentation using every outdated source, using race science, using bad genetics. Ngozi slapped him on the hand for that nonsense, all to make the world black. And then when you say black, what do you mean? Our
they
culture?
don't know. They don't know, bro.
Skin color? What is black? What does black define? Like, what do you mean? Because if it is our culture, then it is predominantly West Central African descent and its descendants, and not even West Central African, the descendants in the diaspora. Because if you are West Central African today, you are fully aware of your ethnicity, your tribal connection. You are fully intact in terms of who you are, where you came from, your direct lineage. You can say definitely you come from this particular tribe. This is our system. Us in the West, displaced by means of the transatlantic slave trade, given a label, stripped of our identity, we have no alternative but to say black. And we can claim the whole continent. That's our right. That's specifically dealing with a group of people. So, how you place this on the rest of the world? So, by your logic, the darker skinned Thailand people are black because there are skin people in Thailand that are darker than I. You're saying that the average Southern Indian from India is black because they're darker than I. How how does this any of this make sense? You take a social construct that is predominantly for a particular group of people, and you attach that to the rest of the world based on pigmentation. So my culture, what is black, is not part of what being black is. The history that we experience, isn't that not part of being black is? So how someone that is void of that cultural container, that history, you want to equate in the social fabric of what black means?
Hey
That
Cedric.
vision is wild. Go ahead.
Hey Cedric. They just like to be scammed, yo. We trying to keep them out the scam. they they supported hidden colors, yo. It was a scam. Information was horrible, yo. Weren't even talking about black people. We're talking about some mythical people that lived in an enchanted forest and went to the dinner with the Mad Hatter. Like, get out of here with that, yo. And it was all based off the blackness, the blackness, the blackness. No, it was the scamness, the scamness,
That's
the scamness.
that's scamming. Pure
Yeah, get
scam.
out of here, bro. So my point is very, very clear now. Like, y'all rather get scammed, huh? I'm trying to break that mold. I'm trying to hit you with John Henry Clark said, enough of the bastard and the blackness, enough of that. He said it. Time
Yeah,
out for that.
he
He
said
said
it.
it. Hey,
Yeah.
so y'all act like I'm saying something that's new and some saying something that's slick. Man, John B. Clark said that, bro. Yeah, you get that. I got scammed by black people. I ain't get scammed by no white people. Come on, bro.
Well,
I
look
don't.
at the community. Dr. Phil Good Valentine, pseudo nonsense. Dr. Sabi, actually responsible for people's lives.
I don't
It's
care.
not outside our community. What the dude selling the magic water, kidney deficiencies. What are we talking about?
You know what? I think people don't want to live in the real world. We're actually connecting people to the real world, right? Because the real world don't work like they wanted to work.
You
You get
making
that?
stuff up. What did I make up?
Man, you in the chat? You on the chat? Man, he know he can come up here and talk.
Yeah, I'll
Don't be
drop
in
a
that
link.
chat, bro. That chat to hear you. The motherfucker be cracking a joke. You take it serious. I ain't want this joke. I'm saying we're trying to connect people to the real world. In the real world, yo, you get paychecks from white people, black people. You get that?
Yes, sir.
All right. You go to the food market. You don't know who's farming that food. You don't care.
No, you
You
don't
go to the
care.
doctor. So some of us get white doctors or black doctors. It's there. Is it when you get on a bus, a train, right? It's driven by different people. That's the real world, bro. The world you live in does not exist, right? Where you can get everything black. Does not exist. So why not be in the real world?
Yeah, real world.
Fake
Like,
world gets you faked out. Remember, they
yeah.
scams you. In the fake world, they scams you. Remember that? It's scams.
The Black City plan here. Isolate yourself
Scams.
and all these crazy
Scams.
stuff. So you want to make a black city, but you don't want science. You want ancient African science. How
Right.
far you gonna get? You don't wanna
I
you
tell
wanna
you what,
restrict
brother.
where you getting water from. How you gonna travel? So you have to have you can't use a European airline, or you're gonna develop your own telephone system that is only gonna be supported by black people. in your black city. How's that gonna work? So these type of ideas are just wild. Are just wild. I'm making stuff up, the homie. Hit the link, come up here, and let's hear what you're saying.
You in that chat, yo.
Nobody assigned a position what you're saying. I'm just asking you what you're saying. But anyway, the link is there. You can hit that. Get up here.
That ain't the world, yo.
Oh, he can't. He can't. Okay. All right.
It's not the world.
Yeah, that's not the real world, folks. Yeah. We need to live in the real world and engage in material.
All right, bro.
Peace,
I
peace,
gotta
my
have
brother.
some
What's
money,
good?
bro. Can't spend that money like that.
What's going on?
What's good? Peace,
No, I was
Stefan.
what's going on? How you doing? Said, what's going on?
I'm good. I'm good.
I was I was trying to figure out. It wasn't more directed towards you. Said it was. I thought Unc was um, making a position for me, like because I asked about you making a statement of tribe, and I was trying to figure out if you were saying that um, your DNA kind of will kind of it can basically go back and tell you which tribe you're from. Is that what you were saying?
No, no. I actually made a point, and it was in relation to us here in the West, right? And how it's difficult for us to pinpoint exactly which tribe, which
Oh,
culture we
okay.
come from. So us here in the West, that title of black is extremely applicable, right? We come
Yeah.
from West Central, but those people in West Central Africa, their culture and their identities are fully intact. Where our history made us what we are.
Oh, see, now that I agree with, like I understand, but because I thought the statement you made was in reverse, basically. I thought what you were saying was they can narrow you down to your tribe, and I'm like, huh? I'm like, I
No,
don't know
no,
if we
no.
got that. I don't know if we got that far.
No, 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 no. That's what I was saying. The distinction, but because we always talk about West Central Africa as our origins, but
Right.
that label of black, quote unquote, is not even for those West Central Africans who are on the continent now. It is predominantly for us in the diaspora because of our history. Those on the continent know exactly where he come from, could take you to his great grandpapa house.
No, I just got jump on it. That's all they got jumping.
You're breaking up,
But
sorry.
I ain't
Or
got
is it?
you ain't had to. I said Unc just jumped. Unc got jumpy because I messed with Tariq, so he went all the way with it.
You tell you what, Tariq. Oh, we had to go all the way with it. He
Yeah,
faked us out with the blackness.
yeah, but I
Actually,
was
no, I didn't even see your comment. I didn't see your comment. Be honest with you. So I wasn't directly. You know what I mean? I was just. My point is this: trying to wean you off the blackness is really an attempt to get you in tune with your real history. Because at the point of black, then you're everybody. Because everybody has brown skin, and everybody has light skin, and everybody has dark skin. The human, the Homo sapien sapien, is a tropical African.
yeah,
Okay, yeah. And so the temperate zones are all around the planet, right? So
right.
humans are naked. So
But
my point is that
I
most
think
people are that color.
you do this where because you do this to me a lot where because you are in a disagreement with Tariq that you I think you feel like everybody that or most people that are in agreement with Tariq
Think
that
so? Think
you
so?
at yeah you attest that I think you attest that like if you agree with Tariq or his position or his
Mm-hmm.
ideology or whatever he's pushing, that means you agree with everything he's ever said or everything that he's pushing. And I
Mm-hmm.
think that's just I think that's incorrect. You know what I mean? Like I told you
Yeah.
before, I agree with a lot that you say, but I don't agree with everything you say. And so you will see me in the chat agreeing, and then you will see me in the chat disagreeing. I think that's fair.
I actually think that's intelligent. So why wouldn't I be intelligent to understand that?
Well, but when we have these conversations, or when you see me make statements in the chat, you do like you just did, and because
Hmm?
I questioned tried, you went into the whole diatribe about Tariq and hidden colors and everything like that. And see that was incorrect because I was just trying to
Okay.
figure out exactly what the statement uh what the statement
Yeah, I
was.
didn't. What was your comment? What was your comment on it? Because I didn't actually. I didn't think you had a bad comment. I didn't. What did you say? What was your comment? Let's go back to your comment.
What
Because I
about
wasn't. What was the comment? Go ahead.
well I heard I
No. What was?
misheard.
No.
Right.
What would you? Yeah. What did you say though? Tell me what you said.
I didn't say a whole lot, but you gotta let me finish before I can get don't
Oh, I
you
thought
get
you was
me
gonna go
excited.
straight to the comment. I'm trying. I don't got time. Yeah,
Yeah,
I just need to hit a comment.
I'm trying to explain it. So I asked the question, try, because I heard it said that
Try.
something
Try.
about I thought he was saying that DNA can kind of narrow you down to a specific tribe in Africa, and I was like, I don't know if I I was in disagreement with that. He cleared it up though, so that's all that
I know,
matters.
but how would that get to hidden colors though?
Cause
How would that
he
statement get to hidden colors? That's what I'm
right,
saying.
cause they put you put my picture up on the big screen, and then you went into the whole diatribe about hidden colors and tribes and all
Oh
that.
no, that
Yeah.
was no. So
So
see that believing.
how you just jump out the window on that then?
I no, I wasn't because that's I'm saying you. It's called the theory of the mind. Yo, look it up. You thought you knew what I was thinking. I wasn't even thinking about that at all, yo.
All right,
No.
you
Listen to
got
me.
it,
I
bro.
swear to goodness. When your name came up there, I didn't even I didn't even associate it with Hidden Colors or Tariq. I always associated with you supporting me, bro. And that's on my mother.
Okay,
I
that's
actually don't
crazy because
even
I'm
you
always in your corner.
no, you have right. So I'm saying is whenever you bring on, I forget that you actually follow that nonsense. Now that we talking about it, because you're so
Right.
intelligent. You see what I'm saying? Now I'm on it. But I
It's funny.
literally, you're 99% of the time, you're so intelligent with your speech and the way you do things that you have to literally remind me that you mess with the nonsense with the hidden colors. Seriously, bro. So I don't even I
I
met
mean,
you with supporting me and the fam. You know what I mean? And that's I don't gotta lie because
but this,
I shoot it straight.
right. But this,
Seriously,
okay, this
I'm
the
come on, I ain't
thing.
gonna bull crap you, bro.
No, I feel you. But this,
Yeah.
I think you like, I think you misappropriate me and my stance terms of like
I
what he's
don't.
pushing or
Your phone breaking up.
what
My
he
phone
speaks
breaking up?
for. Because, well, cause listen, I'll say this. I don't want to be too long. I'm at work too, but I don't. I've been following dude for a long time, and so much of why I've been following him had nothing to do with the Indians and the you know what I mean, all the tribe stuff and all that. It was much more political in terms of advocating for Black American rights and um, you know, kind of what we need on a political a socio political realm, right? So I don't I don't have to agree with all the tribalism and what may have you. It's more so I like that he pushes and advocates for Black American or foundational Black American rights and advocacy, right? So that's where I'm coming from with it when it in terms of supporting or acknowledging dude. With you, it's like pretty much the same, but just you know I gravitated to you just off of you know me kind of want, finding myself, man. Like I told you, I came across you years ago, man. So I was a younger cat, and you know I was just on the heels of Islam and all that. So you helped me get out of that. But
Yeah, man.
that's all it
Yeah,
is.
I
So
get it.
when you see me, when you sometimes I mess with you a lot because I'll bring up
Oh,
Tariq because I know you
but I swear,
might.
yo, that's what I'm saying since the blog talk day, bro. So I'm trying to tell you, yo, that I'll only be man. I got so much in my head, bro. So much. that I actually don't even associate you with that. I kid you not, bro.
That's
I'm
man.
legit
Please
one of my
don't.
supporters,
That's
bro.
what I said. Please
I ain't
don't,
gonna lie to
cause
you, yo.
please
I
don't,
ain't gonna
cause it's
lie.
a lot of us that just because we rock with dude don't mean we agree with everything. You know what I mean?
I
We
know,
just
and that's intelligent though, bro. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah,
don't. I'm not an ignoramus, yo. I ain't got so smart that I done got dumb. That's what I want
right.
everybody to know. So
I
yes,
Hey,
got
there are
you. Like
things you
I'm,
agree and
I don't,
disagree. I
I
get
hate
it.
messing up y'all show, man. But
No,
that's
no,
all.
you've been following long enough to get up here and express yourself, yo. But I ain't throwing no gigs at you for that.
No,
I don't.
no.
But I might,
I'm
I
not.
might, I might though.
yeah,
If
y'all
it
know
run
you
across
can,
my
man.
brain, yeah, but
So
not,
honest.
not this time. Not
Yeah,
this time.
honestly, I saw the comment tribe and I didn't know in which context it was. So that's why I asked you what it was about. And it fell within the framework of the conversation, but it's two unrelated things, completely unrelated. But that's communication for you right there, right? So he wasn't even seeing the chat. It was I said because I was trying to tribe, so I was trying to get some clarity. Maybe I made a mistake or needed to explain some more. And good, because you thought I was saying we can use our DNA and go back to my
Right,
grandfather knocking the door. No, 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 no. Absolutely not. I was doing the opposite. Black is a social construct, and it applies specifically to a group of people based on the
right,
history of right? It's not
right,
a term that you can superimpose on people who have their cultural
right.
containers that they know exactly who they are. So we are doing the same thing that the European did to us. We are now superimposing this term on anyone that shares the same skin color without actually engaging with the individual and understanding their history that they might not share that same concept.
Yeah. No,
Jose?
all right. That's it. We good. We good.
Yeah, man.
Hey,
Easy,
hey,
easy.
hey, Jamal.
It was my fault.
You know what's deep
It was
though?
my
It,
fault.
it you know what's deep though? Based off what I understand about politics, yo, I would suggest a suggestion would be find somebody who look like you that's better at doing politics. I don't see that. I just actually see like a wild griff at the end of the day, right?
Yeah. I
Using
mean,
that black. Hold on, let me finish. Using that word, that black word, right, as a mechanism, as a trick, bro. That and I'm saying. I remember I came up like that on that. You know what I mean? Being around that. And so I'm saying, bro, like that's a trick, bro. That's
yeah.
all. To me, my opinion. I'm gonna leave it right there. Now I don't judge you
Right.
off of that,
Right.
right? I
But
always
and
feel you to be a great
so
supporter of mine, so
I
I ain't tripping.
yeah, I agree. I mean, I ain't gonna say I
Nah, you cool. I
wholeheartedly
ain't tripping.
agree. I know I'll say this. I know where you coming. I can see where you coming from.
Right. That's all I'm
Right.
saying. Yep.
But like I said, I've been following him probably closer or longer than you have. And
I
so
mean, you like the way he talk that talk. It's all good, yo. I get it.
yeah, well, no,
Nothing wrong with that.
it ain't even just about the talk because he didn't put in a lot of work. Like I didn't say it before. Whether
Like
you
what?
agree or not,
Like
whether it's
what? I'm listening. I'm tuned in. We need a lot of work on what? Go ahead.
well, I'll say this, especially in terms of the politics. He's he's galvanized or he's put together multiple rallies in in advocacy of for us. You know what I mean? On in Washington of all places. You know what I mean? And um, could were there holes in that where we we or he should have had more or had some politicians involved to kind of really get the needle moving in certain directions. I mean, that's subject for debate. You know what I mean? But what I choose to kind of highlight and focus on is a black man doing something. You know what I mean? And I can salute that. You know what I mean? So there's always room for improvement. You know what I mean? So if there's if I had a critique, then the better thing for me to do is to do it better. You know what I mean? So that's just where I'm at with him. It's not exactly about everything that he's saying or what he's doing because a lot of times I do have to just turn it off. Like, bro, I don't want to hear that. Or you know what I mean? Or you just I ain't agreeing tonight with you kicking, so I turn it off. You know what I mean? but on a larger scale, just because I've been following dude for 10 plus years, just like you, and I've seen the work he's done in terms of being on the ground, during protests and all that stuff. And it's why people gravitate to dude, because if you've been following him long enough, you've seen him pay for people to get out of jail during protest times, and pay for funerals of these elders in our community. And you know what I mean? And whether you agree with the museum or not, or whatever, or whether you even want to call it a museum, that's up to you. But what I'm saying is, there's people like what I'm saying is, there are people that see a man doing something, you know what I mean, and can salute that and just respect that off just off that face value. You know what I mean? And it's not just, oh, Tariq said something or did something, so I'm behind it. It's years of somebody putting in work and proving that they are, kind of um, fighting for our people. You know what I mean? So that's where I come from with it. It'll be the same. I'll be going just as hard. You know what I mean? For you too, because I got a lot of respect for what you do and what you've done. I didn't even know about you teaching in colleges and stuff like that.
I
Until you
just
mentioned it. You know what I mean? So that's
strong,
like
strong
that's
word, strong word. I teach. I give a presentation. Don't
all,
overlook it.
all right. Well,
But
hey
I don't,
man,
I don't, but I don't like talking about that. You know why?
right.
Because my enemies on YouTube will use it against me, right?
Nah,
And I
but
feel like let me
okay.
finish. I feel like that the way I move and the way I function, it's not luck that I can get people to come on. Think about it, we got like a real like edgy show, and I can get the experts to come on. There has to be a
Yeah,
reason because they check the background. They say, okay, you damn, okay, I got some published work. Nobody talks about that. Real journals. So I know the editing process. And the editing process, they're not contacting us talking about, well, you missed a comment right there, you trash.
yeah, yeah,
That ain't happen. They say the source is not appropriate, right? A lot of times they won't even tell you. You gotta say fix it.
yeah,
There's some
yeah.
errors in the sunset, and you fix it, and you mold do it, and you fix it. But big up to Dr. Mayat, man.
Yeah,
Right?
but man, I think you do yourself a disservice. Not even. I mean,
But that ain't what
look.
I'm not, bro.
Sometimes you gotta pop it. Sometimes you gotta pop your own collar, man, because you've been doing real good work out here, man. And if you ain't gonna advocate and push for yourself, that hard, then who else will, man? You know what I mean? So you gonna have, if I may say this to you, OG. You know what I mean?
Right.
Um, I think I think. Um, I think you could be doing a lot more with what you know, and and all that you've done. I think you could do more than what you already doing, and I would love to support that. You know what I mean, in a real way. And
Like,
I ain't
like,
just
like,
talking.
like what? Like what? What you think I should do? What would you support me doing? Making a real
I mean,
documentary?
yeah, yes, man.
We working on it. I
And
got
that's
you. We're gonna
exactly
do.
what I'm saying though. Instead
We're
of
gonna do
instead
it.
of instead of you on here, you know. making your critiques about dude and his documentaries or whatever, and whether they pseudo or not. I mean, they may be. Hey, man, I didn't even get into all that. That's what I'm saying. I didn't even get into all the hidden color stuff and all that.
All
I
right.
ain't never seen one. I never seen one. You know what I
Okay.
mean? So,
Land your plane. Got to say here.
all right, but yeah, I would like to see you do something like that, or put your own. Put your own rally together, or whatever. You know what I mean? And I love to support that
On
outside,
rally.
wherever it is.
Right.
Not a rally. I ain't saying. It's just you ain't got to be that. I'm just saying. I'm just off the cuff. You asked
How
me.
does
You
the
know what I mean?
science
I'm just
camp every year via Dr. Mayat? If you want to support, that's a good place to show some support for Dr. Mayat's science camp, that it's actually developing the scientifically literate generation of the future, right? So that is
all right.
something there that you can support. What is part and parcel of what we stand for, scientific literacy, the promotion of STEM in the community.
Yeah, and hey, I casually came across my Dr. Maya's page on TikTok just because of what I kind of my algorithm or whatever, and I seen a video of her and a young man, you know, highly intelligent, and
Who?
Maya, Dr. Maya. I just casual. I said I casually came across her
And
on
who she
TikTok.
is? A student, right?
Yeah, it was our student. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
yeah.
And I was quite surprised, but. So yeah, I mean, if that's what she has going on, I have to look into that. Because I definitely see
No,
her stuff like
really.
that.
You know how many students, how many intelligent students that lady have, yo? How she's a magnet to her students, yo. Yo, she's an advocate, right? Of promoting STEM to her community, bro. We
Yeah,
got a paper, yo, for African Americans, STEM learners, bro. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, bro, listen, man, it is what it is, right? And I'll take that critique and push it. You know what I mean? It's all great with me, yo. I'm gonna hold you to your word, though. Yeah, that's where I'm at.
All right,
Got it.
thank
I
you.
appreciate that. All right, man. Appreciate your support over the years, though, bro. You always been super solid.
all right,
Yeah,
for sure.
appreciate you,
All right.
Stefan.
Y'all be easy.
Uncle
All right,
Francis, you sound like an old man up here, bro. Who you uncle to? Up here, you just Jose.
What's up? What's up? I'm
Come
actually
on,
here
here, bro.
to actually say that the more I move in this community, the more I appreciate brothers like you and Unc, because I've seen what unadulterated, uninformed stupidity sounds like, and I don't hear that. Even though we can argue all day long, you're not going to say anything that's unadulteratedly stupid, and I hope I don't sound that way either. So, I'll give you that credit, Unc. You
Can
read
I
a
can I
couple books.
can I let you on the secret?
Yes,
Secretly, I'm a blackologist. Secretly.
I know
And
that.
I want black people to be educated and see the world like I see it. Because you know what? Once you see past the color thing, you get your real history, and the shit is dope, bro. Like you have no idea how dope it is. You have no idea, bro. But you gotta get away from the fake history. And the fake history is colder than blackness. I promise you that, bro. They did remember my whole Egyptian fight with the indigenous people of the continent of Africa, yo. I shouldn't have got no pushback on that at all.
Well, that was a whole different fight that we
But you get the
shouldn't bring
point,
it
though.
up.
But no, I'm just making. I just made a no, not trying to strike up the band, right? I actually got a chance for the first time, in a long time, to actually, congratulate Smash
That's
on
right.
his life work, on his life work. You know what I'm saying? Like we ain't never taken that from him, cause you can't. And then I thanked him for taking me in the Hall of Fame, taking me with him in the Hall of Fame with the song.
So
And the cat, huh?
here's a question. Why
What's
don't
up?
you why don't you actually bring your paper onto your platform and read your paper so people can see it? Or put a link to it so people like me could actually pick up the paper and read the paper.
I think we
I
got
would
like
love to read the
2,000.
paper.
Got like 3,000 reads on that paper, yo.
Yeah,
Let me
bro.
see.
He put
Yeah,
that up
but you didn't
several
drop
times.
it so I could read it. You
Okay, I
I
didn't
got
put
read
you.
it
that
so
up
I could
several
read it.
times. You wasn't around probably, but it's been up there several times. We've all read it.
Okay, well, you have my email. Email it to me and let me read it, so I can put it on my platform and promote that ARC actually has a published, peer-reviewed paper that we can actually read, because that's
Mhm.
important. Because I wish I could write a peer-reviewed paper, but I ain't got no peers to review me. So what am I gonna do?
Yeah, well, it ain't like I wrote the damn paper, nigga. I'm on there with Doc and them, right? And you just look, goddamn it.
All right. Well, I just called to say that I do appreciate you more and more when I see what unadulterated ignorance sounds like,
Yeah, I know. You
and
only
I
got to
can say
stick
you don't
around a
sound
little
that way.
bit. If you stick around a little bit, yo, you be like, oh, I get it. Oh, I promise you, bro. People was ignorant, bro.
I know, and I'm
Mm-hmm.
going to point it out, and I'm going to point out a couple of ignorant people who I encountered recently,
Mm-hmm.
because I want them to know how they actually sound to other people. It's
Okay.
not cute when you get on the platform and you say something that makes no sense, has no
Yeah.
backing. You read a source and you can't understand the source, then you're going to argue with me for 20
Mm-hmm.
minutes. Like
And
I
you know,
didn't
I'm
read
waiting
what I
on you
just
to do
read.
your present. I'm waiting on you to do your presentation too. Waiting
Well,
on
you
you.
had to call me. You ain't call me yet.
Bro,
You
set
get you gave
talk.
me a number. You gave me a number.
I gave you my email. If you check your email, you can see email from me.
All right, I got you. Yeah, just get that ready, yo. I got you.
All right. Just let me
Yeah,
know how we can
you're gonna be surprised, yo. You think I'm gonna try to tear it down? That's what you thinking in your
No,
mind.
no, what is nothing to tear down. I'm just one who wants to go into some of the text and actually read the text so people can see what the text is saying.
Oh.
So when they do talk, they actually know what they're saying and what they're critiquing, as opposed to just chat GPT and themselves into a coma.
Yeah, yeah.
Because that's what people do.
Let's go.
All right, man. So remember, I love you, my brother. Yeah, we're gonna fight, but at
Yeah, we
least,
still brothers at the end, man. Appreciate
yeah,
you,
man.
brother. Keep the struggle
All right,
going,
man.
bro.
Have a
All
good day, man.
right. I appreciate you, man.
Appreciate you for dropping by. Looking forward to that presentation. Looking forward to that presentation. All right. So we hit that 2 hour mark. Ladies and gentlemen, thank y'all for being here. Don't go nowhere. Don't go nowhere. We'll be back in about an hour and some minutes with Gullers. We're gonna do his presentation. He has a part two and also addressing the truest. So stay tuned. We'll be look out for that. Stay tuned. We'll be right back. God Killer, anything before we close out?
Nope. I,
Yeah.
I appreciate you, bro.
Thank you. Thank you. I appreciate you. I appreciate this platform where we
We
get to.
win. We win around here, and I made you look. I made you stand on your word. You said, I want to do a shout. I'm gonna do a shout. I said, yeah, I got him. He don't know it's coming. Got him. Taught me to death, nigga. Yeah, yeah,
Thanks. Shout out to King Dog Ken and the God Killer. Said talks
yeah.
their idea. Yeah, said talks a lot. So give him his space, let him talk, and I appreciate it. Thank you. And of course, I'm not gonna let you guys down. I'm gonna continue to put in the work and try to keep the pseudo killer brand where everybody is. We winning right now. We got the community. We were the boring guys who weren't gonna go nowhere. Yet everybody is talking about us.
I'm going nowhere.
Eddie, yeah,
I
yeah.
ain't
This
definitely
is
going
what
nowhere,
we got
bro.
to do. But
And when ain't going.
if we promote misinformation, we do presentations. The information is there. Challenge it. We are welcome. You are welcome to challenge the information any and every day. And with that, folks, I'm gonna take us out. Don't go nowhere. We'll be right back in a bit. Guller's gonna be doing his presentation, so stick around. Thank you all for being in the building.
The Catarini.
The Catarini. West Side Jungle Monkey.
Monkeys in a barber shop. Keep it hip hop. They don't stop. They put props. I keep drops. Keeping them fully fixed and stuck in the damn barber shop. Nigga, you know I dropped them lines, yo. You know what it is, yo. Simple shit. Simple shit. You know what I'm saying? Yeah.
Yes, sir. Yes,
Yeah. Yeah.
man. We
Yeah.
winning with the A side. We gonna always be the A side. Cause y'all not ready. Anyway, well, with that, I'm gonna take us out with some music and see y'all in a bit. We be right back with it. Here we go.
Well, check the credentials. You like the literacy for this level? Listen. Niggas doing they best, tryna bless me. Try harder, keep failing the test, got no pedigree. Pushing killers, top dog versus ticks and fleas. In the mall, trendsetters, everybody follow me. Line up, I make you beg for your life, praying on your knees. Lord, help on little dudes, ain't on my level, too hot, 33 degrees. Just so cold with it, watching niggas freeze. Psych cop, bubbly, flim lemon, nigga please. Got everybody talking science, but they can barely read it out. Said the ignorance is like a fucking disease. I'm really starting to question the mental capacity. Are you home? High school dropouts wanna compete with me. It's a cloud, get your gate up. It's a long condo where I be. Trying to retrofit the data just to match your prophecy. Claiming ancient secrets, but it's really just a wage stretch. Hard to learn a lesson when you're dying just to preach. That's dismissed. Top floor view, stay grounded. Can't hide when you see it at the top. If you're coming for that spot. Got the target on loud. Grounded Set talks, yeah, clarity first. If it ain't got method, it probably won't work. From ancient knowledge to modern science, we draw that line, that clear defined. They say the ancients had science. Hold up, pause. Knowledge ain't the same as methodological laws. Observation, yeah, but control tests rare. No predictive models, you gotta be fair. We respect the past, but we keep it exact. Precision matters when you deal with facts. Astronomy grew, astrology split. One stayed empirical, one lean myth. The shift came through naturalistic method. Just and revised, that's how we embed it. Not culture bound, not tied to a place. It's a universal tool for the human race. This guy said talks, yeah, he said it straight. Cut through the noise, elevate the debate. No pseudo talk, no foggy claims. Just evidence based when we build these frames. Said talks, yeah, clarity first. If it ain't got method, it probably won't work. From ancient knowledge to modern science, we draw that line, that clear defiance. They blur definitions, start moving the goalposts. Turn fried to a claim that don't hold close. Science ain't on, this a process refined. Independent of culture, space and time. You can't redefine it to fit identity. That's how you lose all epistemic integrity. We test every claim, we don't just believe. If it can't be verified, we don't receive. From early observers to labs today, it's rigor and doubt that paved the way. Not name dropping scholars to win a debate, but data and method that validate. So what's your ideology? That's cool to ask, but truth ain't decided by the loudest class. We question it all, no sacred ground. If it don't hold up, we break it down. This that set pulse, yeah, we live in direct. No fear in the facts, just intellectual respect. No more, no mirror, no fantasy, just truth, logic, and consistency.